Hello, this is Mrs. Ross. We're in Algebra 1R, homework 9-4, applications of exponential functions. So we're going to take a look at the odds. Number one, we're going to read if you put $200 in the bank at 5% compound interest, interest is added to the account, and do not make any withdrawals, how much money will you have in the account at the end of 3 years? So we're going to go ahead and make sure we write our initial problem here. T equals, so our $200 is what we put in. And when we go ahead and when we put this in, we have 1 plus 5% interest, 0.05. And this is actually at the end of 3 years. They want to know how much. So we go ahead and combine that 1 plus the 0.05. So T equals.
This is a reminder to all faculty and students, please move your vehicles from near the tennis court area to closer to the building. Thank you.
Okay, so you have T equals 200 times 1.05 to end parentheses to the third. So you go ahead and put that in your calculator and you will get 231.525, which we need to round to $231.52. 231.52. Okay. Let's go on to question 3. Cassandra bought an antique dresser for $500. If the value of her dresser increases 6% annually, what will be the value of Cassandra's dresser at the end of 3 years? So right away I look at that 3 years and go, oh, I think that's going to be up in my exponential increase there. We have our 500, which will be at the beginning there. And anything else we want to say? The 6%, which we know is 0.06, and we have a 1 that we have to add in there. So let's go ahead and write out our formula. T equals 500 times, we have our 1, plus we're increasing here, 6% by 6%, so 0.06, parentheses into the third. Third. All right. And then we rewrite that because we have to combine. T equals the 500 times the 1 plus this, so it's 1.06 to the third. And it will give us 595.508, which will then go to $596. Okay, so answer $596. Let's go on to number 5. Is the equation A equals 21,000 times 1 minus 0.12 and parentheses to the t, a model of exponential growth or exponential decay? And what is the rate percentage of change per time period? Choose one. I'm looking right away and I see growth versus decay. I'm thinking decay. We have subtraction here. Minus decay. And what rate or percentage rate per time period? So we have to look at the 0.12, which is 12%. So I haven't even looked at our choices, but let's go down and see. Exponential growth? Nope. Exponential growth? No. 3. Exponential decay? Yes. And 12% increase? Yep. I think I like that one. Let's look at the next one. Exponential decay? Yeah, that's fine. And 88%. I don't see anything having to do with 88% there. So that would be the leftover amount that but we have the decay of exponential decay and 12%. Okay, let's go on to number 7. Mr. Smith invests $2,500 in a savings account that earns 3% interest compounded annually. He made no additional deposits or withdrawals. We've got our $2,500 in savings. We earned 3% interest. That's exponential growth. If we're earning, come on, growth. 3% interest compounded annually. He made no additional deposits or withdrawals, which expression can be used to determine the number of dollars in this account at the end of 4 years. So that 4 is I'm looking at in the exponential part. I already know I'm like, I want that part in the exponential part. So if I have 3 and 4, choices 3 and 4 have the 3 here, I don't want those. We want to know at the end of 4 years. So it left us with choices 1 and 2. $2,500 times 1 plus 0.03. It does say growth, and I see growth there with the plus. So those are still too good. Now we have to go ahead and look. So 0.03, which is 3% interest, or 0.3, which is 30% interest. Well, it is not 30% interest. It is 3%. That's 30% interest. So that is not what we want. Choice 1 is what we want. Number 9. Kathy plans to purchase a car that depreciates, loses value. Oh, so decay, exponential decay. And I'm thinking subtraction then. Loses its value at a rate of 14% per year. So 14%, if we write that out. Come on. 0.14. The initial cost of the car is $21,000. Which equation represents the value V of the car after 3 years? So we're looking at 3 years. So I know right away with my 3 years, I'm looking at exponential growth, or exponential here. So we've got our little things there. So I see 3 choices that we would like, not this one. I'm going to erase that. That leaves us with those there, not 4. So now V equals 21,000 times 0.14. Now they want to know which equation represents the value of the car. So we had the decay of 0.14, but the remaining amount would be 0.86, so the value of what it would be worth. So we're not using, it would if it asks how much it depreciated or decayed or lost, then we'd be looking for the 0.14, but this time we're actually looking for the how much it's going to be worth. So we actually are going to be looking for that 0.86, the remaining amount. So we don't want that one to be for the formula for this one. And the 1.14, that doesn't even, that's nothing. So 2. So it's telling us our $21,000 times, so our value of what it will be after 3 years with 0.86, the 86%. That's the value of what it would be left. Okay, number 11. The value y of a $15,000 investment over X years is represented by the equation y equals 15,000 times 1.2 to the, that's super tiny, X over 3. What is the profit or interest on a 6-year investment? So we want to go ahead and plug all of this in. So we have y equals the 15,000 times 0.12 to the, so it's a 6-year investment. So I'm going to look right here and make sure that I put in, and where that X is, it's going to be 6 over 3, which is 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite. It's going to be y equals 15,000 times 1.2 to the second, okay, because we've entered that in there. Then you go ahead and solve that out. Y equals 21,600. And then it's asking, so that's the profit of the 6-year investment. Well, the profit, you've already put in the $1,500. So we have to say that's the amount we've put in. I'm sorry, $15,000. And we've made I got to erase it. Got to go backwards. We've made 21,600. And we've put in 15,000. So we've got to take that 15,000 out, which leaves you 6,600. That is your profit. So 6,600, that's choice 1. Everything else, that's not, we're looking for the actual profit, not That's how much money you've made throughout the years, but the profit of what you've made is the 6,600 because you put in that 15,000. Okay? I believe we are at the end of our homework. Have a nice day.